Hey everyone, so I just sat down with my cards because I keep getting this intense energy around someone who is absolutely fired up about you. Like this person is not just upset, they are ready to go to battle. The energy feels like when someone says, "When I see you, it's on site," and they mean every word of it. I had to pull some cards because this energy was so strong I could literally feel it in my chest. Let me share what came through because this is some serious stuff. The first card that practically jumped out of my deck was the Seven of Wands. Now, this card usually shows up when someone is in defensive mode, but what I'm getting here is different. This person sees you as a threat to something they hold dear, and they are positioning themselves to fight for whatever that is. They're not backing down. They're not walking away quietly. They see this as their hill to die on. What's interesting is the way this card appeared. It was literally the third card from the top when I shuffled, and when I flipped it, I got this rush of adrenaline. This person has been thinking about confronting you for weeks, maybe months. They've been building up this case in their mind, collecting evidence, rehearsing what they're going to say. Every time your name comes up, their blood pressure rises. The energy around this Seven of Wands is so defensive yet aggressive. It's like they genuinely believe they're the victim in whatever situation this is, and you are the villain who needs to be taken down. They've convinced themselves that confronting you isn't just about them. It's about justice, about setting things right, about protecting others from you. But here's what's really wild about this card in this position. The person in the Seven of Wands is usually outnumbered, fighting multiple opponents. This tells me that this person might actually be fighting not just you, but also fighting against their own friends or family who think they should let this go. People around them are probably telling them to move on, to let it slide, but they cannot let it go. I'm getting that this person talks about you constantly. Like their friends are probably sick of hearing your name. They bring you up in conversations that have nothing to do with you. They're that person who finds a way to make everything connect back to whatever issue they have with you. The second card that came through was the Knight of Swords. And oh my goodness. This explains so much about the energy I was feeling. This knight is charging forward with zero regard for consequences. This person isn't thinking strategically about this confrontation. They're running on pure emotion and impulse. Knights represent action, and swords represent thoughts and communication, but also conflict and cutting words. This person has sharp things to say to you, and they've been sharpening these words like weapons. They've probably written out texts they never sent, practiced speeches in the mirror, imagined entire conversations where they absolutely destroy you with their words. What's scary about the Knight of Swords energy is that this person isn't interested in resolution or understanding. They want to win. They want to see you hurt, confused, maybe even crying. They want that moment where they deliver the perfect cutting remark and you have no comeback. They want to watch you realize that you messed with the wrong person. The timing on this Knight of Swords suggests that something is about to trigger this confrontation very soon. Knights move fast, and this one has been held back by circumstances. But those circumstances are about to change. Maybe they're waiting for the right moment, the right audience, or maybe they're waiting for you to be in a vulnerable position. I keep getting this image of someone pacing around their room, just fuming, talking to themselves about all the things they're going to say to you. This person has probably lost sleep over whatever happened between you two. They wake up angry and go to bed angry, and you live rent-free in their head in the worst possible way. Then the Three of Swords showed up, but not in the way you might expect. Usually this card represents heartbreak or emotional pain, but in this reading, it's showing me that this person's anger comes from a place of deep hurt. They feel like you betrayed them, stabbed them in the back, or broke something precious to them. The Three of Swords here is telling me that before all this rage, there was genuine pain. This person cared about you, trusted you, or at least respected you, and they feel like you shattered that. The anger is actually a protective mechanism covering up how much you actually hurt them. This is why they can't just let it go and move on. It's not just about being mad, it's about feeling wounded at a soul level. They keep replaying whatever happened over and over, and each time they do, the story gets a little more dramatic. Your actions get a little more malicious in their mind, and their need for revenge gets stronger. The Three of Swords in this position is also showing me that this person might bring up old wounds during this confrontation. They're not just angry about the immediate situation, they're carrying pain from other times you disappointed them or let them down. This confrontation is going to be them unloading everything they've been holding in. What's really interesting is that the Three of Swords traditionally shows a heart pierced by three swords, and I'm seeing that this person feels like you didn't just hurt them once, but multiple times. They feel like a pattern of behavior from you has led to this moment, and they're done being the victim. The fourth card that appeared was the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and this is where things get really specific about what this confrontation might involve. The Queen of Pentacles reversed can represent someone who feels like their security, their reputation, or their material stability has been threatened. This person might believe that you've affected their money, their job, their living situation, or their standing in your shared community. They might think you've been talking about them to mutual friends, spreading rumors, or somehow sabotaging their reputation or opportunities. The reversed Queen of Pentacles energy suggests that this person feels like you've made them look foolish or irresponsible in front of others. Maybe you called them out publicly, maybe you shared private information, or maybe you succeeded in an area where they failed, and they believe you somehow cheated or took what was rightfully theirs. There's a jealousy component to this Queen of Pentacles reversed that feels really strong. This person might be comparing their life to yours and feeling like you have things you don't deserve, or that you've gotten ahead through unfair means. They might feel like you've been fake or manipulative to get where you are, while they've been genuine and gotten nowhere. The Queen of Pentacles is also about nurturing and taking care of others. So reversed, this could mean they feel like you've been selfish or only caring about yourself when they needed your support. Maybe they were going through a hard time and felt like you weren't there for them, or worse, that you kicked them while they were down. This Queen reversed is also telling me that this person might attack your character during this confrontation. They're going to try to paint you as fake, selfish, materialistic, or calculating. They want to expose what they see as your true nature to anyone who will listen. The fifth card was the Eight of Wands, and the timing implications of this card are making me nervous for you. The Eight of Wands represents swift action, messages traveling quickly, and things happening suddenly. This confrontation isn't going to be scheduled or planned out in a way that gives you warning. This person is going to approach you when you least expect it, and it's going to be intense and fast-moving. The Eight of Wands suggests that once this starts, it's going to escalate quickly. This won't be a slow burn argument. It's going to be an explosion. The Eight of Wands also represents communication moving at lightning speed, which makes me think this person might not just confront you privately, they might blast you on social media, send messages to mutual friends, or try to publicly call you out in some way. They want this information to spread quickly and widely. There's also an element of this person having been planning this confrontation, but then suddenly deciding they can't wait anymore. Maybe they were going to wait until they saw you at some event, but then they decide they're going to actively seek you out or create the opportunity to confront you. The energy of the Eight of Wands is also about things that have been delayed finally moving forward. This person has been held back by something, maybe other people's advice, maybe their own uncertainty, maybe practical circumstances, but those barriers are about to be removed. I'm getting that when this confrontation happens, it's going to feel like a verbal assault. This person has a lot to say, and they're going to say it all at once. You might feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume and intensity of their accusations and anger. The sixth card that came through was the Page of Cups reversed, and this is really interesting because it's adding a whole different layer to this situation. The Page of Cups reversed can represent emotional immaturity, but in this context, it's showing me that this person might involve other people in this confrontation or in the aftermath. The Page of Cups is usually about messages and emotional communication, but reversed, it suggests that the messages this person is spreading about you aren't entirely truthful or are heavily colored by their emotional state. They might be exaggerating what happened, leaving out important context, or outright lying about some details. This reversed page is also telling me that this person might try to rally others against you. They're not just planning to confront you one-on-one, they want to build a case and get other people on their side. They might be already talking to mutual friends, family members, or colleagues, trying to turn people against you. What's particularly concerning about the Page of Cups reversed is that it can represent someone who uses emotional manipulation to get what they want. This person might play the victim, cry, or try to make others feel sorry for them as a way to justify their aggressive behavior toward you. The reversed page also suggests that this person might be gathering information about you, checking your social media obsessively, asking mutual friends about what you're up to, trying to find ammunition to use against you. They're building a case, and they think they're being clever about it, but it's actually pretty obvious to people around them what they're doing. This Page of Cups reversed is also showing me that this person's emotional state is very unstable right now. Their mood swings between rage and self-pity, between confidence and insecurity. One day they feel powerful and ready to destroy you. The next day they feel sorry for themselves and want others to comfort them about how badly you treated them. Now, the seventh and final card that appeared was the Four of Swords, and this is actually giving me some hope for you in this situation. The Four of Swords represents rest, contemplation, and strategic thinking. While this person is running on pure emotion and aggression, you have the opportunity to approach this situation from a much more centered and strategic place. The Four of Swords is advising you to not react impulsively when this confrontation happens. This person wants you to get defensive, to match their energy, to fight fire with fire. But this card is saying that your power in this situation comes from staying calm, thinking clearly, and not getting pulled into their drama. This card is also suggesting that you might want to take some time away from whatever environment this confrontation might happen in. If you can, create some physical and emotional distance from this person and their energy. Don't engage with them on social media. Don't respond to messages from them or their friends asking about the situation. The Four of Swords is also about taking time to strategize. Instead of just waiting for this confrontation to happen to you, think about how you want to handle it. What are your boundaries? What are you willing to discuss, and what are you not? Are there other people you should give a heads up to about what might be coming? This card is reminding you that you don't have to engage with this person's chaos. You don't owe them a fight, you don't owe them explanations, and you don't have to defend yourself against every accusation they throw at you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to play the game. The Four of Swords is also telling me that this situation, as intense and scary as it feels right now, is temporary. This person's rage will burn itself out, especially if they don't get the reaction they're looking for from you. Their anger is not sustainable at this level, and eventually they'll exhaust themselves. What I'm getting overall from this reading is that someone is absolutely ready to go to war with you, but their motivation comes from a place of deep hurt and feeling powerless. They want to hurt you because they feel like you hurt them, and they want to see you suffer the way they've been suffering. The advice from the cards is clear, though. Stay calm, don't take the bait, and remember that their anger says more about their pain than it does about anything you actually did wrong. This confrontation is coming, but you have the power to control how you respond to it, and that's where your real strength lies. The energy I'm getting is that this will all blow over much faster than it feels like it will in the moment. This person's rage is intense but not sustainable, and once they've said their piece, they'll likely feel empty rather than satisfied. Stay strong, stay centered, and remember that other people's chaos doesn't have to become your chaos.